Hey guys, Ed here, and this is the SEGA Pickup video I've been promising for the last couple of weeks. And you can see a stack here, which is probably not the best idea, but I did it anyway. And then there are several stacks here that I guess you can see the top of that one. Several stacks here that you also can't see, all games for various SEGA consoles. And I've got a small stack of hardware over, well, this one's not hardware, but you'll see. Small stack of hardware over here. I guess it is hardware. Whatever. In any case, I'm going to start off with this. This is a Sega Dreamcast in a bag. You can kind of see it there, and they're behind under the shadow of this tower of Sega games. And I picked this up. It was $10, but it's complete. Includes 2 controllers and the fishing controller, which I didn't have a fishing controller. I usually see the fishing controller for like $15 all by itself. And again, you can't pass up a cheap system. You have to buy it. Next, I picked up a Game Genie for the Sega Genesis in the box. And I've never actually seen the box for the Game Genie before, but this thing is massive. To give you an idea, we'll compare it to a Genesis game here. I mean, it's huge. Now, the interesting thing about this is when I opened it up, when I got outside and opened it, took a look inside, I had the Game Genie. I had a manual for Zelda. And I also had, let's see if it's still in here, if I took it out, I can't remember, it's been so long, a Game Genie for Super Nintendo, which I thought was very odd to get a Super Nintendo Game Genie in here, but the really weird thing is it actually came from one of the exchanges, so it's actually a retail type store that sells video game stuff, so the fact that they didn't even bother looking in here to see what was in it kind of surprises me. Or maybe they did and they just don't care. This, if I remember correctly, I purchased from, I don't know, one of the thrift stores in Cuyahoga Falls. I got the Sega Dreamcast keyboard, complete in the box, and I'm fairly certain it has never been used, because when I opened it up, it was still in the plastic with a little piece of tape on it, and it's clean as can be. And finally, on the hardware end, I believe, I picked up a Sega Menacer light gun. It is complete in here. The only thing it was missing is the Sega 6-pack light gun game, whatever, I don't know what it's called. But that's okay, because I found it here just today, actually. The Menacer 6-game cartridge. And it is complete in really good condition, so now my Menacer is now complete. I can put that over here with this. So, I'm going to move on to games. I'm going to start with this big stack of games, because it's kind of scary. I'm just not sure where I'm going to put them. And these are in no particular order. The only things that were in any kind of order whatsoever is the stuff that I bought today is on top. Also got a copy of Hardball. Now, I already had this. I just liked these boxes that came from Ballistic. But this box is in better condition, and it came complete with the manual. The reason I like getting these games from Ballistic is because the covers, or the artwork, is done by, well, you can't see it because my finger's in the way, done by Boris Vallejo, who is a fantasy artist that I talked about in one of my previous Top 3 Tuesday videos. I also picked up Decap Attack, and the 2 of these, this one and Hardball, I got for $5 for both. Again, I already had this, but I had it in a case that I had manufactured the cover for. This one came complete, so I think those are the only ones that are in this list that I take it back. There's one more that I have a story for, and it is Strider Returns. Now, I had mistakenly told Classic Game Hunter that I needed the cover, or the case, for Strider Returns. I meant Strider. I didn't have the game for Strider Returns. I have since picked it up. So this box actually came from Classic Game Hunter, who is no longer on YouTube, and that makes me very sad. But about as good a friend as you can have on YouTube, and a really good guy. So thank you very much, Classic Game Hunter. Now we're into the ones that I don't have stories for. Like, I can't remember where I found the complete Super Hide here, or pretty much any of these games specifically. The one thing I can tell you is, I didn't pay much for these games. If it's a sports game, I paid $1 or less. The other games, I don't pay more than $5 for a Genesis game ever, and usually I pick a lot of these up for just $2 or $3, either at thrift stores or $2.50 from an exchange. So, I don't know. Make of it what you will. If I happen to remember something, I'll tell you. But I got Virtual Pinball complete, and I'm not going to tell you they're complete. Just assume they're complete unless I say otherwise. Super Volleyball, and I'm going to run out of room for this crap fast. David Robinson's Supreme Court. I know, I'll stick him over here. Muhammad Ali, which is a terrible game. God, this is, even for a sports title, this is bad. I tried playing this. Yeah, I can. As far as I'm concerned, it's unplayable, unless there's some trick to it that somebody knows. This is not complete. This is, Williams Arcade's Greatest Hits. Actually, I found the cartridge for $1 at a thrift store, and I made up the cover for it, just because I like having stuff in a cover. Dashin' Desperados. Slaughter Sport, which I just picked up the other day. I do remember this one was $2.50. Gods. Tailspin. This one is also not complete. This I had to make the cover up for, but Phantom 2040. James Pond. What do we have here? The Aquatic Games with James Pond. Mazen Saga Mutant Fighter. Fairy Tale, or The Fairy Tale Adventure. King of the Monsters. Super Thunderblade. This was an upgrade. Again, I had this loose card only, and I had made the cover for it. I got this one because it was complete, and I don't remember how much it was, but it was very, very cheap. It was probably $2, $2.50, something like that. Street Smart, not complete, no manual. I don't think there's a manual in there. Nope, no manual. Two Crude Dudes, also no manual. Boogerman, I just picked up the other day. The case itself is not in great condition. I did pay $5 for this, I remember that. But it has the manual. So I figure $5 complete for Boogerman, even with a dinged-up manual, is not too bad. Shadow of the Beast. And Shadowrun, which I picked up ages ago. I don't remember how much I paid for this. I posted it on Facebook, so you can probably find it on my Facebook page. If somebody can remember seeing it on Facebook, let me know. I don't remember what I paid for it. I picked up one Dreamcast game. I picked up Alien Front Online because it was sealed. I have since opened it because I have no use for sealed games. I had the game, but I didn't have it complete like this, with a little microphone and everything inside, so I grabbed that one. And let's see here. This is where I start to remember where I got some of the stuff. The exception is this stuff here. I have no idea where I got Wheel of Fortune, but I remember I got it for $1. These are all for the Sega Saturn. I picked up Battle Monsters with a cracked case there. Galactic Attack. Now, I want to say I paid $5 for this one. Might have been a little more, but I definitely wanted this because it is a shoot-'em-up. I picked up Hexen. NFL 97. I'm sure I got this for like $1. And it's a Saturn game. You don't run across those a lot. Although it seems like in this video. We got to remember, this is like 7 or 8 months worth of pickups. Shell Shock. Also have to remember that in that 7 or 8 months, I was hitting up 50-plus thrift stores and game stores and, flea markets every week. So, actually, it might have been 60-plus. It's a lot. I hit up a lot of different places, some of them multiple times. Then, the Sega Stoner hooked me up by pointing out a seller on eBay that was making some, in this case with Death Caliber. As far as I'm aware, it is a completely new game. And hard to describe this. This is a light gun game without the gun. But, yeah, you're fighting against Muslim terrorists, which is a really odd game. I picked up Metal Sonic Overdrive, which is a hack, I believe, of the first Sonic game, and it's actually a really good one. If you were going to pick up a bootleg game, this would be a good one to try out. I enjoyed it. And then he was kind enough to send me a copy of Lord of the Rings for, yes, the Sega Genesis. Did not obviously come in the case. It comes looking like that. I found a cover for it online and printed it up. So, same with Metal Sonic Overdrive. And again, this was something I posted on Facebook, but Mutant League Football, complete. And at the same store, I don't remember if it was the same day, but I think it was, I picked up Spider-Man, Wolverine Adamantium Rage, Rock and Roll Racing, all complete. Then, because I didn't have this complete, I picked up Sewer Shark for the Sega CD. I also picked up a couple others for the Sega CD. I picked up The Terminator. Oops, there we go. The Terminator. Demolition Man. And this here. I just hit the mic. That was probably really loud. It is a double game. It's Microcosm and Ultraverse Prime, which is like a comic book-based game. Never heard of the Ultraverse Prime comic book, but it says on here that it came from a comic book, so I'll take their word for it. Alright, next up here, I've got a couple of games that, if you remember me talking on one of my previous pickup videos, I don't remember which one anymore, I had gotten some Atari 8-bit games and some other games that don't seem to be coming to mind at the moment, and I got them from Bree Software. I had mentioned that I posted a coupon code on my Facebook page for 65% off. I think it was 65% off. All of their games, basically all their console games, used console games. And before I did that, I made sure I picked up a few that I wanted. And they were Eternal Champions, Battle Core, what is this called? Lethal Enforcer's Gunfighter. And then one other game that was supposed to be complete. It was not, but I got it so cheap, it's hard to be upset. I got Final Fight for the Sega CD. This is what they called complete. I don't recall these coming in DVD cases, so it is definitely not complete. And there is no manual for it. Hard to be too upset, though, because it is a pretty cool game. Actually, in my opinion, the best version of Final Fight to be released on a console that I'm aware of. Maybe it was released on a new console, I don't remember. And then Mike Gartner actually took my coupon code and purchased a loose copy of Dune for the Sega Genesis. And he was giving me a hard time about it one night. And I went online and looked and found a copy of Dune complete in the box for the Sega Genesis, even with the warranty card. And I picked it up for like $5 or $6 more than he paid for his copy on sale. So, yeah, that shut him up. Alright, and then the other thing that I was focusing on here with my Sega consoles, and I apologize I'm going through this rather fast, although it's still going to be a 15-minute video. You guys know that I have, well, some of you guys know that I have been collecting shoot-'em-ups for various consoles, Sega Genesis being the main one, and I have gotten down to I have all but 3 of the shoot-'em-ups that I wanted, and these are the shoot-'em-ups I've collected in the past 6, 7, 8 months, however long it's been. I'm going to start off with the only loose one. And it is actually a third-party game, or an unlicensed game, on the Genesis, and it's Earth Defense. Now, I've never seen this one before. It was $2.50 loose. It does obviously have some label damage, but considering I've never seen it, even though it's not rare and you can get it fairly cheap on eBay, I picked it up for $2.50, just so I could have it, and if I ever find another one later, I can upgrade it. Speaking of upgrades, this was an upgrade. I had this game loose. I found it complete in box, and it was actually smashed. This was $2.50 at an exchange. It was smashed really good. You can see probably on the side that it's still got some creasing. I brought it home, flattened it out, and it is now a complete Battle Squadron. Well, it was complete before, it's just not squashed now. This, pretty much the same deal. I had a loose copy of Steel Empire, and I wanted a complete copy, so that's what I've got here. Complete copy of Steel Empire. Great game if you've never played it. You can play as 3 different ships. I think it's 3 different ships. It's actually been a while. I know it's at least 2, probably 3 different ships, and they all handle differently, and you need to use different ships at different points in the game, because if you have one particular ship that looks like a dirigible, you're not going to make it through some of the levels, and if you have the fast, nimble ship, you won't make it through other levels. So it's an interesting game. Definitely takes some repetition. You have to basically get through it by trial and error. SEGA, another game that I had never run up on. I found this in a store one day. It was more than I wanted to pay because it's not complete, but I contacted Mike Gardner and he said, yeah, you should definitely pick that up. I've never seen it either. So I did, and it's not so bad. I mean, I didn't pick it up for a crazy amount of money, but whatever. I got it now. The rest of these, I take it back, not the rest of these. All but this one. This is a game found for $2.50 at an exchange again, and it is not complete. It is cart and case only. Arrow Flash. I guess I should have told you what that was before I pulled it away from the screen. Arrow Flash, really cool game. Got to try it out. Now these all came off of Amazon. And basically I was looking to complete my shmup collection. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to take a look on Amazon, see what I can find. And I've been on there a number of times. I found 4 of these. I think it was 4 of these from the same seller. I don't know if they bought like a lot or whatever, but they were selling it on Amazon. They were selling them dirt cheap. And then one of them I got from a separate seller. The one that I got from a separate seller was Elemental Master. It is just the case and cartridge. Then I got Airbuster. I did put this in a new case. The old case was damaged. You can even see at the top there where the insert underneath is a little bit damaged. But Airbuster, Gain Ground, Soul Deece, which is basically the Genesis version of Soul Feast, which is one of my favorite shooters, and Raiden Trad. And I apologize, some of these still had stickers on them. I didn't get them off yet. So what did I add here? I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, technically I added 8 shoot-em-ups to my Genesis shoot-em-up collection, and I added 2 upgrades to the collection. So that is everything. That is all the Genesis stuff I picked up over the last several months. I have some other things that I picked up. I don't know if you guys would be interested. Got a bunch of board games. Got, let's see, what do I have? I upgraded my computers, if anybody's interested in seeing that. I did get some other things that are not specifically video game related. If you're interested in seeing them, I'll do a video on that. Otherwise, I'll just leave them sitting on the shelf. Thanks for watching.